So today we are going to operations with negative radicals and with I. So I'm going to do some practice problems with you, or some examples, and then you're going to complete these practice problems and see if you understand how to do them. Alright, so we just got introduced to imaginary numbers last week. Let's take a look at how we could do some simple operations with them. If I have 4 i's and I add 3 i's, it kind of works like x here. So 4 i's plus 3 i's means we have 7i. In number 2, now if we have this negative inside the radical, we want to bring it out as an I. And then we have the square root of 4, which is 2. So if I want to take, remember what we did last week. We said, okay, this is like the square root of negative 1 and the square root of 4. So this is like I and this is like 2. So this is 2i minus 5i, which is, what is 2 minus 5? Negative 3i. So here I have I and the square root of 5 minus 2i and the square root of 7. So look how I did that pretty quickly. If you notice, I was already able to take out the negative 1 as an I, and the negative 1 here as an I as well. But I cannot simplify the square root of 5 or the square root of 7. So actually it just stays just like that. You have a negative I square root times the square root of 5 minus 2i with the square root of 7. Now what you could do here, since they both have an I, you can actually take it out and tell me what's left, what quote-unquote number would be there. So it would be the square root of 5 minus 2 times the square root of 7, I. Because think about it, if I distribute it back in, it would look just like that. So there's your final answer for number 3. Then if I look at number 4, now you would think, hey wait, I know how to multiply radicals. This would be negative 4 times negative 9 in the square root. But this is not correct. Do not do this. An important piece here is you must try and simplify it first and take out the I. So you have to take out the negative 1 first before you do the math, because you will get a different answer. So here I will get 2i times, here I will get 3i. 2 times 3 is 6, and I times I is I squared. And then if you remember, I squared is the same as negative 1. So 6 times negative 1 is negative 6. So if you did it this way, though, you would get a different answer. Negative times a negative is a positive 36. You would have gotten a 6, which is incorrect. So it's very important that you take out any i's first. Take out any i's. Don't use any bad tools there. All right. Then look at number 5. We have 3i divided by 5i. So I could actually write that like a fraction if I wanted to. 3i divided by 5i. What you'll notice is the i's are on top of each other. You can reduce those, and you would be left with 3/5, or 3 over 5. Okay? You can then also look what happens here. So I have a negative 1 and a square root of 3. So I get 4 divided by, the square root of 3, I. Or I times the square root of 3. You could do it either way. They usually like to put the I in front, so it's not confused that it's inside the radical. So this is what I get. Now, if you remember, you are not allowed to have a radical in the denominator. That's also true about I. You cannot have I, imaginary numbers. You are not allowed, so I'm going to write that here. You're not allowed to have I in, I'll put in quotes, in the denominator. Okay? So what that means is we have to rationalize the denominator. So I have to multiply by, now here we know that we could do the square root of 3 on top and bottom, but now how do I get rid of an I? You actually multiply it by another I. Because I times I is I squared, which is equal to -1. So watch what happens here. So here I get 4 times I times the square root of 3 over I squared times the square root of 9. So this becomes 4 times I times the square root of 3. Now I squared is -1 and the square root of 9 is 3. So my final answer is 4I times the square root of 3 over -3. And I cannot reduce that any further. And that is how you rationalize the denominator. You are not allowed to have an imaginary number or a square root in the denominator. So given these 6 examples, take a look at them, go back through them with me. You have here 9 examples I want you to practice. So pause the video, try them out, and then come back and tell me what you think. And check your answers. Good luck. Okay, so hopefully you were able to complete the 9 questions. I'm going to zoom in just so that you could check your work. Pause it where you need to. I left every answer in simplest form. So please make sure you left all your answers in simplest form. Pause it where you need to, and check your work. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me, and have a great day, everybody.